Hello, law students and legal practitioners. Today, we will analyze the case of Causing versus COMELEC, GR number 199139, decided by the Supreme Court on September 9, 2014. Let's begin. Here are the legal doctrines of the case. The case reiterates several important legal doctrines in election law and administrative law. First, only personnel movements expressly prohibited by the Omnibus Election Code and COMELEC resolutions, specifically, transfer, and detail, are punishable as election offenses during the election period. These terms have acquired technical and legal meanings, and they do not include mere physical relocation of workstations that does not involve movement to another agency, department, or position. Any interpretation expanding criminal liability beyond the clear letter of the law is impermissible. Second, penal statutes, including election laws imposing criminal liability, must be strictly construed in favor of the accused. Courts cannot criminalize acts that are not clearly and unequivocally covered by statutory language, nullum crimen, nulla pena sine lege. Thus, ambiguities must be resolved in favor of the person charged. Third, the filing of a motion for reconsideration is a jurisdictional prerequisite in petitions for certiorari under Rule 65, including those assailing COMELEC rulings, unless the case falls under recognized exceptions. The failure to file such motion is fatal to the petition when none of the exceptions apply. Finally, the case affirms that local chief executives possess the power of supervision and control over their employees, including the authority to reassign or alter work arrangements for legitimate administrative reasons, provided such actions do not violate election laws or result in demotion, diminution of rank, salary, or functions. Here are the relevant facts of the case. LCS Causing had been serving as the Municipal Civil Registrar of Barotac Nuevo, Iloilo since 1993. On May 28, 2010, during the election period for the May 10, 2010 elections, Municipal Mayor Hernan D. Byron Sr. issued Office Order No. 12, directing Causing to report and perform her functions at the office of the Municipal Mayor, citing exigencies of service. On the same date, Office Order No. 13 was issued detailing another employee, Catalina Bologno, to the office of the local civil registrar as LCR designate. Subsequently, on June 1, 2010, Mayor Byron issued Memorandum Numbers 17 and 17A, clarifying that Causing would continue performing her functions as civil registrar, including signing civil registry documents, but would do so at the mayor's office. Her salary, rank, position, and official designation remained unchanged. Causing filed a complaint affidavit before the COMELEC, alleging that the issuance of Office Orders Numbers 12 and 13 constituted an illegal transfer or detail without prior COMELEC authority, in violation of Section 261, G, H, and X, of the Omnibus Election Code and COMELEC Resolution No. 8737. Mayor Byron countered that no transfer or detail occurred, asserting that Causing was merely required to physically report to the mayor's office for closer supervision due to complaints about her conduct. He emphasized that she retained all her functions, compensation, and position. The provincial election supervisor recommended dismissal for lack of probable cause, and the COMELEC en banc affirmed, ruling that no prohibited personnel movement occurred. Causing then elevated the matter to the Supreme Court via petition for certiorari. Issue 1. Whether the petition for certiorari should be dismissed for failure to file a motion for reconsideration before the COMELEC. Yes. The petition was procedurally defective. Under Rule 64 in relation to Rule 65 of the Rules of Court, a motion for reconsideration is a mandatory prerequisite before filing a petition for certiorari, as it affords the tribunal an opportunity to correct its errors. Jurisprudence recognizes limited exceptions to this rule, such as patent nullity, lack of jurisdiction, or issues of pure law, but none applied. Causing failed to file a motion for reconsideration of the COMELEC en banc resolution. The Supreme Court found that the issues raised were neither novel nor urgent, and no exception justified dispensing with the requirement. Since COMELEC rules expressly allow motions for reconsideration in election offense cases, her direct recourse to certiorari was improper, warranting dismissal. Issue 2. Whether Mayor Byron's acts constituted a prohibited transfer or detail, under the Omnibus Election Code and COMELEC Resolution No. 8737. No. Mayor Byron did not commit a prohibited election offense. COMELEC Resolution No. 8737 and Section 261, H, of the Omnibus Election Code prohibit only transfer or detail, which have specific legal definitions. A transfer involves movement to another agency or administrative unit, while a detail involves temporary assignment to another agency without appointment. The court held that causing was neither transferred nor detailed as contemplated by law. She merely experienced a physical relocation of her workstation to the mayor's office, a few steps away, without any change in her position, rank, salary, or functions. She continued to act as municipal civil registrar and retained supervisory authority. Because the law is penal in nature, it cannot be extended to acts not clearly prohibited. Consequently, no probable cause existed to charge Mayor Byron with an election offense. Issue 3. Whether Office Order No. 13 showed an intent to replace or remove causing during the election period. No, Office Order No. 13 did not establish a prohibited personnel movement. Criminal liability requires a clear and consummated act proscribed by law. Mere issuance of an order without implementation or effect does not amount to a criminal offense. The COMELEC and the court found that Catalina Bologno never actually assumed the position of civil registrar, as she never received or acted upon the order. Causing remained in office throughout. Without an actual appointment or transfer, Office Order No. 13 could not support a finding of intent to illegally replace causing during the election period. Thank you for listening and happy learning. Please don't forget to subscribe to the Legal Shepherd PH YouTube channel and click the notification bell to stay updated on newly uploaded cases and jurisprudence. See you again for our next case discussions.